Hey guys, this is Dr. Alchemist, the Neo Scholar. What's up, y'all? You're back here for another One Piece reviews. This is going to be Chapter 19, The Devil Fruit. How's it going? Y'all good? Are you ready? Is Buggy down for the count? Or do you think he's ready to keep on fighting? Huh? Are we getting something? Well, you're waiting to hear from it, right? Just a little sneak peek. We're going to get a flashback into Buggy's story. I'm super excited about it. All right, let's open up to the Chapter 19 Devil Fruit title page. And, well, Luffy's at a zoo on a crate that says danger, so it must have like a lot of bombs, and he's just sitting on there Indian style with a toothbrush, brushing a hippopotamus's teeth near a pond. Okay. So they must be at a zoo or a farm. I'm going to say most likely a farm. That's what it looks like in the middle of the mountains. And there's just some pasture, and this owner owns a hippopotamus, and there's a little pond for him to swim, and then there's like a field for him to play and eat grass. Do hippopotamus, you know, whatever. Let me know down below. Eat grass, but he has water to swim. I guess he eat fish, and then there's some birds that look like Chactaw, the chatty parrot from Pokemon, and you know, if there's some fire, the box will go kabloom. But hey, I'm happy that Luffy does community service. Do you do community service? If you do, let me know down below. But Luffy take care of the animals, and hey, this checks out, because later we get Chopper on the crew, and he's a a reindeer that ate a devil fruit, so this checks out. Now, does Luffy brush his Chopper's teeth because he's kind of like a kid? Or taught him how to brush? Well, maybe his first foster dad did, so never mind. That'd be funny if Luffy reads Chopper bedtime stories and helps him brush his teeth like a big brother. All right, so we open up. Luffy faked from going from Gum Gum's sickle. He did just clothesline kicked him in the chest. He goes flying, and because he got hit so hard, Buggy head slipped back on, and I guess his devil fruit deactivated, and he's just laying out. Oh my god! And Luffy was looking at the hat. Man, it is like shink, shink, shink. It looks like Wolverine from X-Men just slaughtered it. Oh my god, sliced it up. And he was like, "Darn you! You ruined my hat." And then Luffy starts like shaking him and hitting him some more, and like, why did you just spit on it too? And then Buggy's like, hey, wait, hold on. Like, while he's down, and Luffy's like shaking him, and Buggy's like, and Luffy's like, you know what I mean? And Luffy's like, da 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 da, and Buggy's like, ga 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 ga, and Luffy's like, Mickey, and then Buggy's like, oh, swoop, 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 gat, 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 swoop, 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 Mickey, swoop, 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 you know what I mean? So, anyway. All right, keep it going. Sorry, I'm babysitting a little furry right now, and I think I want to get one. That's not for this. We'll talk about it over there when we're doing the Neo Scholar analysis. All right. So, now, Luffy is looking at Buggy and saying, don't ever mention Shanks and yourself in the same breath again. Because he's feeling like, who's this guy, this low-down pirate, okay, this cheat and the fighter, talk about my boy Shanks. And Buggy was like, I don't know what your connection to Shanks is, but I'll say whatever the bleep, bleep, bleep I want to say about him. And then he goes into another attack. Chop, chop. And Luffy said, chop, chop, don't come apart. And karate chops his ass in the face, straight down. Boom. It's like karate chop on Pokemon. Shoo. Right? And then the crew is so weak. The crew is still in the rubble, just like hanging around, but watching everything. Mindful, you could help him out because he's getting his A whooped. And then now the crew is like, hey, the captain's not losing, is he? Of course not. Captain Buggy can't lose. He's going to get serious anytime now, I think. And everybody's looking. Here comes Nami. Oh no, I got caught up watching the fight. I have to steal the treasure and make my escape. Cut back to the camp of the townspeople in Port Town, and the people are like, something's wrong. The mayor's been gone too long. Mayor Boodle. Blast him. He's worrying everyone. Maybe something happened in town. So there's a whole bunch of townspeople just like trying to figure out where the mayor's at. And so I'll continue reading what the people are saying of the town. The people are saying of the townspeople. Yeah, we've heard a lot of cannon fire today. Okay, I'm going to town. The rest of you stay here. And then someone else says, I won't let you go alone. I'm going with you. Don't be a fool. Those aren't just any pirates. They're Buggy, infamous pirate crew. You know, defeated by 3 pirates, Straw Hats, but you know, hey, that's my crew. And so now you have all the townspeople got somebody with a kendo sword. You got somebody with a spear. So we got somebody with an axe. So they got all the little weapons they can in their town. They're like, you know, we're about to revolt. Like, we're over this. Let's go. I mean, they kind of might outnumber the Buggy pirate crew, and they have a lot of fodder. They might be able to win. It's just Buggy with the devil fruit that's usually a problem, but Luffy took care of that, so they can knock him out. Let's see. That's why we're going with you. We can't call ourselves good citizens if we don't defend our mayor. And you can't stop us. We're doing this of our own free will. Do what you want then. Let's go, everybody. And that's like kind of ringleader of the townspeople that's kind of been directing this conversation. Cut back to the fight. And we cut to Mayor Boodle. Still knocked out because Luffy knocked him out so he wouldn't get in the way and get killed. So, you know, Luffy does things like that. You know? Never in my life has anyone made me as angry as Shanks did. Buggy starts monologuing. That scoundrel stole a great treasure from me. Luffy's like, what? I'll never forget him for that. Hey, they're fighting again. Go for it. Fight it out. You know, we're going into the Muffin Man. No, I'm joking. We're going to Flashback Land. So here we go. And I just want to note out, when you're reading the manga, of course, it's right to left, but they're all panels. And normally there's like panel and then you have white borders around each panel, right? One thing Oda does that I've noticed reading this manga, when it's a flashback, the panels are black. So I think that's really neat, so you can keep track of what's like a flashback, what is current. And there's nothing really like future-y in One Piece, so it's just really flashback. So I like this, that it's been consistently black paneling, and it's a nice touch. All right, here we go. Now you cut to the past. We don't know how far in the past, but Buggy and Shanks were kids. And it's a full half panel of Buggy and Shanks, little Buggy. You know, he's a nice looking guy. Still has that red nose, so he was born like a clown. So has that, and he also has like a little hat, kind of like a bandana thing. And of course, Shanks with a straw hat. And then they're fighting over where should they go. No, it's the North Pole. No, the South Pole. And then now you see Gol D Rogers' crew just laughing, watching him, right? You're a stubborn fool. I'm stubborn because I know I'm right. That's enough. You two are always fighting. Now, I'm caught up. So I'm not going to say too much and spoil everything. Hey, I'm getting better at this, Rog. All right. Sound off down below if you're happy for me not spoiling everything, right? But we now see the first mate hit Shanks and Buggy. Which is crazy because the first mate really didn't get revealed until after the time skip and really got to know him. So it's crazy that we're seeing it, like how Oda has planned on we're on chapter 18 and we don't, 19, and we don't get payoff till chapter 700? You're a madman, Oda. Madman. Oh my God, he's the best writer of all time. Best writer. Like chapter 19 and then we're into thousands? We don't talk about something till like, okay, think. We don't meet Rayleigh until my top 3 arcs, Sabio only Perigo, I forget, with the Bubble Island. And I'm not going to tell you what happened. But, you know, with the Celestial Dragons, and, you know, there's a mermaid that gets captured, and there's like a bubble area, And so a lot of stuff happens is before the time skip. That's when you meet them. That's why we chop like episodes in the 400s. So in the chapters, that's crazy. But let's get through this fast, right? Come on. We're going to talk about it. We're all excited. My bad. Let's go. So the first mate hits them both. And the first mate, is pointing at him and say, who cares whether it's colder at the south? Who cares whether it's colder at the South Pole or the North Pole? If you must know, then go find out for yourselves. You two need to cool off. So my mistake, I think they're trying to fight where they should go because, the pirates are being nice and saying, hey, you pick where you want to go. No. They're fighting off what's the coldest. So they fight about everything like brothers. And then you hear somebody like at the top of it, like, where you have like the parasails, the ship parasails, but you have someone like on the lookout, looking out. Someone says, ship approaching north by northeast. And then someone says, head straight for him. It's time to fight. And then Buggy pulls out his daggers. I get Shanks pull out his fists. You look happy, Buggy. Of course I'm happy. Your ship is treasure for the taking. Maybe. And we don't know what kind of ship this is. So maybe it's a marine vessel. Maybe it's a pirate ship. And here comes, I thought Shanks was going to fight with his fist. But he pulls his sword out. Later, we know that's called Ace. Okay? Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm right. Maybe I'm right. I'm absolutely right. You're soft. You and all the pirates on this ship. None of you has a proper appreciation for treasure, Buggy says. You've lost the sight of what being a pirate is all about. And so now we're cutting to the fighting, the battle between the pirates and the Gol D Rogers crew, right? We also get a clip who we don't meet him until we didn't really meet him until we got to Elbaf, the second in command, the second mate, which is really dope. I love this planning. So when you have a story in your writer, you should have an idea of start to finish. So he's been know what the One Piece was. Crazy, right? Huh? What's this? Buggy stumbles upon a map. He's crouching down like in the back of the pirate ship, like looking like, whoa, what is this? And it's treasure, because he sees a treasure X marks a spot in the middle of the water. A map, a vast fortune, sunken deep on the ocean. Treasure map? I couldn't stop shaking. My first treasure map. So he's kind of like talking to Luffy, like how him and Shanks met, and talking to the reader. Nobody's looking, Buggy says. Haha, maybe I'll just keep this to myself. It's mine. I did it. My fortune is as good as made. So he's like excited, celebrating in his little corner that this treasure map is going to change his life, because he's going to find the treasure and be like a millionaire, billionaire, and rule the world or whatever, And then you see everybody laughing, having a good time because it's another victory, drink and sing, make merry, probably foreshadowing what the Straw Hat pirate ship is going to be called, the Merry. I don't know. That's just me on connecting everything. It's all connected. All right, hey Buggy, come join the fun. Look at our spoils. We got something really interesting. Spoils didn't take anything. Buggy's stuttering because he thought Shanks caught him. I don't know anything about it. What are you talking about? Shanks says. I suppose one day. So now they're on the porch, the deck, just chilling, and they're having a heart to heart. I suppose someday we'll leave this ship. Hey, I'll go off on my own someday, Shanks says. As captain of my own ship, I'll make time to see the world. I'll do some pirating along the way, of course. Still a soft fool, Buggy says. What? But you're a good fighter. I'll give you that. If it weren't for your soft way of thinking, I'll ask you to be on my crew, Buggy says. And Shanks is drinking. They're probably teenagers, but they're pirates, so they do what they want. And they was raised on that ship. Work for you? Never. And then Buggy's like, what you mean? We think differently, better if we go our separate ways. Being a pirate is all about going your own way. How would you know what being a pirate is about? Being a pirate is all about going your own way. We're all inspired by One Piece and Dragon Ball Z. That really kind of sounds like Naruto, like your ninja way or ninja way. So I wonder if the mangaka of Naruto got inspired by this. Cause I think this came out in the 90s, so yeah. If ever we cross paths on the high seas, there'll be a fight to the finish. Agreed? They both say agreed. That's also what being a pirate is all about, Shanks says. Sometimes you baffle me, Buggy says. Now, what were you yamming about? Now, what were you yammering about? Something interesting? Hey, we found some devil fruit. That's what Shanks been trying to tell him. They say that the devil fruit was enchanted by the sea devils. Whoever eats it gets amazing powers, but the seas turn against them. Captain says anyone who wants to eat it can. And then Buggy's like, what, sea dog? Would give up his ability to swim? And that's really crazy because I don't think they're in the East Blue. Of course, they're traveling all around. They've seen the One Piece. But I don't really think they have any devil fruit users. They do have, we'll call him like the Shogun of Wano, but I don't, and his wife, they have devil fruits, but this might be before that. Anyway, let's get to that. Only a fool would eat that fruit. But anyway, devil fruits are rare, so that's what they're just trying to show. But when you get deeper into the Grand Line, you see a lot of them. So they might not be too deep in the Grand Line right now. They're probably just traveling around. But hey, we don't know. There's tons of treasure on the ocean floor. You can't get it if you can't swim. So Buggy's like, hey, let me go get that devil fruit, but let me sell it. It's a correction. Buggy's like, I'm not eating that devil fruit because I need to swim and I got this treasure. So if I have the treasure, I don't need the devil fruit because I can be rich and live a happy life. Then Shanks is saying the devil's fruit worth a fortune, you know? Some people will pay 100 million berries for it. Impossible. 100 million berries, a dozen treasure chests wouldn't hold it alone. The goddess of treasure must be smiling on me. I appreciate this. And you know, Buggy's like, thank you so much for this information. He's like plotting on what to do. So then we cut to Buggy holding the devil fruit saying, I, apprentice pirate Buggy, would eat the devil fruit. And everybody's laughing. Aha, youngsters don't think about consequences. Hey, but Buggy's got real sand in his crew. Hey, Buggy's got real sand in his craw. That means he must have balls. That's probably what that means. He ate it. And then Buggy's like, no, not really. I don't feel any different. And I was like, maybe it wasn't ripe. Maybe those tales about the devil fruit were lies. They fell for it. The fruit I just ate was fake. I switched it with the real devil fruit last night. Now, Buggy's pretty lucky because other crews would have, well, the other bad crews or the more aggressive crews, they would have fought for the devil fruit. Someone got killed for a devil fruit. And, you know, that's a lot of money. So just for anybody to be able and, you know, Gol D Roger's like, hey, anybody can, you know, Roger's like, anybody can have it. And so that's really dope. So my biggest gripe on this, reading One Piece when it comes to Buggy the Clown, you're on the ship of the King and the Pirates. I see Shanks took advantage of it, but you should have been a master at your devil fruit by the time you left. With all hockey and conquerors and observation, I would have took full advantage and been trained my ass off and would have came out even stronger than you was. So that's the only gripe. Should have been just as strong as Shanks. And here comes Buggy by himself, hiding in one of the rooms. Buggy's like, ha ha, monologuing. Another glorious success. No more apprenticing. I'm getting off this hulk before someone finds me out. With the devil fruit and the treasure map, I'll soon be rich. I'll put together the cruelest pirate crew ever and still more treasure. What you doing, Buggy? Shanks says. You know they're brothers. Phew, it's only Shanks, Buggy says. Then Shanks is like, what's wrong with your face? Because Buggy stuffs the whole devil fruit in his mouth. So the chop fruit looks kind of like a half pineapple, but with little swirls on it, like little circles of swirls, right? And then Shanks says, the cookling skin you alive, Shanks says. Stop stealing food. Then Buggy was like, that was close, with the food in his mouth. Couple seconds pass, or maybe a minute. Shanks scares Buggy and says, oh, I almost forgot, the captain said. And he swallows the fruit, and Buggy's like, oh my God, swallow the money. You dropped something. And then also, his map goes flying. And that's what Shanks was talking about when you drop something. And then he jumps in the water. And then Shanks like, hey, Buggy. And then Buggy's like, what's going on? What's happening? I can't move. I can't swim. And then Buggy's like, okay, gas, help me. And then somebody was like, you're supposed to be a great swimmer. Shanks, what's going on? What's he doing down there? And then Shanks dives in the pool, dives in the ocean. Hold on, I'm coming. Shanks. And then we cut back to Buggy, now present time. I swallowed 100 million berries. Now I can't swim, so I can't get at that treasure on the ocean floor. So Shanks saved your life. So what? So the moral of the story, that's what kind of like, Luffy's like, hey, like, you got a devil fruit, got a treasure map, and Shanks saved your life. Why are you mad? And Buggy's like, that's not the point. I'm not rich. It was all his fault. He fooled all my grandiose plans. But you have a devil fruit, and actually really good one. So I changed my plans. If I can't get treasure that's in the sea, I'll just have to take all the treasure on the sea. Or meaning on top of the sea. Using my chop powers. So then he dispatched his waist to go flying up, I guess, to fight for round 2. And as he flies all the way up, it's a Dragon Ball Z moment. You know how like they're just scouting for somebody? And also he has his daggers. He peeps Nami, okay, by where he's holding all his treasure. And says, I don't care how insignificant a fly you might be. If you put your hands on my treasure, I'll squash you. And Luffy's like, what? And Nami's holding all the treasure like, huh? And that ends chapter 19. Now, do you think Nami's going to get hit? Do you think Luffy's going to make it in time to stop Buggy from hitting Nami? And what's your favorite part about the flashback? I really do enjoy seeing how Oda sprinkles these fast flashbacks. And when a writer says there's not enough time or there's too many characters, you're lazy. Oda gives everybody a flashback. Supporting cast and main cast. By the time we're caught up now, it's like it's so much lore. It's like encyclopedias of One Piece could be made. So I'm really happy. Thank you for coming. Like, comment, and share. We just read One Piece, chapter 9 piece. I'll try that again. We just did One Piece chapter reviews. One Piece chapter 19. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Make sure to comment down below if you're liking these reviews. And how do you like One Piece so far? We're going to be here for a while. And let me know if you notice anything new. I put a key light up here. So we have this right here and this right here that's balancing it. I might put one in the middle to balance it. But yeah, I kind of like it. Well, this is Dr. Alchemist, M.F.A. Neil Scholar. Signing out. Keep analoging.